Once upon a time, nestled on the edge of a great green forest, lived a sweet little girl known to everyone as Little Red Riding Hood. She earned her name from the beautiful scarlet cloak with a cozy hood that her grandmother had made for her. She wore it everywhere she went, a splash of vibrant red against the emerald backdrop of the woods. One sunny morning, her mother handed her a basket, its handle woven from wicker, and its contents smelling wonderfully of freshly baked muffins, sweet jams, and a hearty loaf of bread. "Your grandmother is feeling a little under the weather," her mother said, her voice warm with concern. "Take this basket of goodies to her. It will surely lift her spirits. But remember, stay on the path and don't dawdle." Little Red Riding Hood promised she would. With a cheerful wave, she set off, her red cloak fluttering behind her like a bright little flag. The forest was a magical place. Sunlight dappled through the leaves, creating dancing patterns on the ground. Birds sang their sweetest melodies from the high branches, and squirrels chattered as they chased each other up and down ancient oak trees. The air was filled with the earthy scent of pine needles and damp soil. She skipped along the well-trodden path, humming a happy tune. The world felt safe and full of wonder. But she wasn't entirely alone. From behind a thicket of ferns, two golden eyes watched her every move. A large gray wolf, his fur the color of twilight, had been drawn by the delicious smells wafting from her basket. In the old stories, this is where things take a dark turn. The wolf is a cunning villain, ready to deceive and devour. But this wolf was a little different. He was big, and his teeth were sharp, but deep down, he was terribly lonely. His stomach rumbled not just from hunger, but from a deeper ache for companionship. He stepped out from behind the trees, trying to look imposing as wolves are meant to do. "Good morning, Little Red Riding Hood," he said, his voice a low rumble. Red stopped, her heart giving a little flutter of surprise, but not of fear. She had been taught to be cautious, but she had also been taught to be kind. She looked at the wolf, really looked at him, and saw not a monster, but a creature with sad eyes. "Good morning, Mr. Wolf," she replied politely. "It's a lovely day for a walk, isn't it?" The wolf was taken aback. He had expected her to scream and run. Her calm reply threw him off his game entirely. He hesitated, his plan to trick her suddenly seeming rather silly. "Where are you going in such a hurry with that delicious-smelling basket?" he asked, his nose twitching. "I'm on my way to my grandmother's house," she explained. "She lives just on the other side of the forest. I'm bringing her some treats because she's not feeling well." The wolf's stomach gave another loud growl, this time betraying his hunger completely. He felt a blush of embarrassment creep up under his fur. Instead of spinning a tale about a shortcut, the truth tumbled out. "To be honest," he confessed, his ears drooping slightly, "I'm very hungry, and I'm also very lonely. Nobody ever stops to talk to a wolf." Little Red Riding Hood's kind heart went out to him. She lifted the cloth covering her basket and saw the plump, golden-brown muffins nestled inside. She remembered her mother's words to stay on the path, but her mother had also taught her to share. She carefully took out a muffin, still warm from the oven. "Here," she said, holding it out to him. "You look like you need this more than I do. There's plenty for Grandma and me." The wolf stared at the muffin, then at the little girl. No one had ever offered him anything before, except perhaps a scare or a chase. He took the muffin gently in his mouth, his sharp teeth avoiding her fingers. The taste was incredible sweet, buttery, and made with kindness. It warmed him from the inside out. A single act of generosity had changed everything. He looked at her with new eyes. This small girl in the red cloak wasn't just a meal. She was a friend. The thought of tricking her or her grandmother now seemed monstrous, not because he was a monster, but because he didn't want to be one anymore. "Thank you," he mumbled, his mouth full of muffin. That was the best thing I've ever eaten." He then had an idea, a much better one. "Your grandmother's house is still a ways off. Why don't I walk with you? I can make sure you get there safely. The woods can be tricky." And so, the two of them, the little girl in the red cloak and the big gray wolf, walked the rest of the way together. The wolf, once a creature of stealth and shadow, now trotted happily by her side. He pointed out interesting things she had never noticed before: a rare bluebird's nest, a patch of wild strawberries, the tracks of a deer that had passed by that morning. When they arrived at the little cottage with the thatched roof and blooming flower boxers, Grandma was surprised to see her granddaughter arriving with such an unusual companion. She was about to cry out in alarm, but Red quickly explained everything. The wolf, feeling shy under the old woman's gaze, dipped his head. "I'm sorry for any trouble my kind has caused," he said earnestly. "Your granddaughter showed me kindness, and I'd like to be a friend, if you'll let me." Grandma, who was as wise as she was warm-hearted, saw the sincerity in his golden eyes. She smiled, a gentle, knowing smile. "Anyone who is a friend to my granddaughter is a friend of mine," she declared. Come in. There's more than enough tea and cake for everyone." She invited the wolf inside, and the three of them sat around the table, sharing the treats from the basket and stories from their lives. The wolf discovered that he loved tea with honey and that Grandma's seed cake was almost as good as red-est muffins. He told them tales of the forest at night, of the moon and the stars, and the secret lives of the nocturnal animals. From that day forward, the wolf became a beloved member of their little family. He was no longer lonely or perpetually hungry. He appointed himself as their official guardian. He would help Grandma gather firewood, his strong jaws making quick work of fallen branches. He would stand watch over the cottage at night, his keen ears listening for any strange sounds. He would often join Little Red Riding Hood on her walks, their laughter echoing through the trees. The other villagers were wary at first, but when they saw how gentle and helpful the wolf was, their fear turned to acceptance and then to affection. The children would even leave out scraps for him, and the woodcutter would give him a friendly nod. The story of Little Red Riding Hood and her wolf friend spread throughout the land. It became a new kind of fairy tale, one that wasn't about danger and deceit, but about understanding and second chances. It taught everyone that a little bit of kindness could be more powerful than the sharpest teeth or the darkest forest. And so Little Red Riding Hood, her wise grandmother, and the big, kind-hearted wolf lived happily together, their days filled with friendship, laughter, and plenty of delicious muffins. They proved to the whole world that even the wildest of hearts can be tamed, not by a cage or a hunter, but by the simple, magical power of a shared treat and an open heart. Thank you so much for watching this story with us today. If you enjoyed this gentle twist on a classic tale, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming stories. We love sharing these moments with you. See you next time.